All right, and we are now live. Hi, I am Kara858, and today we're bringing you episode 19 of Lords of Faerun. As always, we want to give a huge thank you for the love and support that we've received for the show. We're working very hard behind the scenes to give you this fantastic TTRPG experience. And with that, I think it's about time for us to introduce our sponsors. Of course, we are proud to say that Lords of Faerun is officially sponsored by Die Hard Dice. Die Hard Dice is the incredible company that produces gorgeous dice, dice-associated items such as scrolls, dice trays, dice bags, and more. Also, Die Hard Dice has just released a new line of products dedicated to the Die Hard Dice affiliate program. Many of their specialized line of dice get sold out very soon. So head on over to Die Hard Dice and use the promo code Faerun, as Faerun, to get a discount off your purchase. Time to level up your dice. And Lords of Faerun, of course, is partnered with Untitled Champions. Untitled Champions is one of the biggest D&D games around. And this week, a list of champions have been buffed to help you pass that troublesome wall. If you hit !code in chat, you will receive a code for a free electric chest. So this chest provides free premium content to help accelerate your progress in the game. So with that, enjoy. And if you like our show and would like to support us, Lords of Faerun has a Patreon. All of the funds sent to our Patreon goes directly to the cast, and the Patreon offers exclusive content like after shows, podcasts, Patreon exclusive Discord channels, and even bonus episodes. Your contributions helps us as content creators. And if you're not able to contribute financially but still like to support us, liking, retweeting, and getting the word out already does so much. It really makes a major difference, and we appreciate what you've done for the channel. So with that said, it's time to introduce our cast, have to talk about who they are, who they're playing, and projects that they're working on. Starting first with our brand new cast member, Brandy. Brandy, you would like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on?
Hi everybody, I'm Brandy and I will be playing Bloom Dazzlewood, the absolute cutest patoot out there, a tiny little gorgeous fairy baby. And when I'm not playing Bloom, you can catch me currently Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST on Unmade Gaming as Alara Kaya on Glenwood Unhollowed. So if you want anything that's like Stranger Things meets like an idyllic 80s and like more horror and sci-fi, you can absolutely find me there every week currently until the end of February. If you want my things, I produce and host the shows Intricate Rituals, Cringe Warning, and Eat Crit, as well as some new shows that are coming up that will be announced soon. Basically, if you put Brandy Rose in Spotify, you'll get all of my things. I'm also a TTRPG writer and designer, as well as video game writer and designer. All of the projects I've worked on are on cutestpatoot.itch.io. And when you want to see me hanging out, testing visual novels, especially now that I'm writing one, and dating sims, and just playing queer, happy, maybe monster-loving games, you can find me on twitch.tv/cutestpatoot. Other than that, I'm a voice actor, I'm a paid GM, and basically I wear a lot of hats, and if you want to find any of these things and more, you can hit me up on Twitter at @TheBrandyRose.
Perfect. Making our way, of course, we have our wonderful DM, Aliza. Aliza, you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on?
Sure. Hi, I'm Elisa Pearl. I'm your dungeon master for this wondiferous adventure. And I am I'm a game master, an actor, writer, improviser. And upcoming things or things that are currently going on are I am GMing a 4-shot over on Becca Scott's channel for the Good Time Society. And it's called the Calyx Embrujado, which means haunted. It's Call of Cthulhu, and it takes place in 1940s Puerto Rico. And it's been very fun to dive into that world. So definitely come check that out. Wednesdays at 5 p.m. And then you can watch the first episode on YouTube. And what else am I doing? Doing this every Saturday. And I'm doing a monthly game that just started this past week called Meta Game. It's kind of metagame, but meta game. The name is meta too. Anyway, has nothing to do with Facebook. We named it way before they announced their thing. Whatever, we're keeping the name. Sue us, Facebook. Try to sue us. Just kidding. So So that's going to be the second Tuesday of every month. We're going to be playing a new TTRPG game, maybe some board games and card games thrown in there, but starting with a bunch of TTRPGs. Next month, we're playing Monster Hearts 2. So that should be really fun. And then in December, I'm going to be playing something with the fandom channel, their Cortex system. And it's not announced yet, so I won't announce it here, but stay tuned for that on Thursdays in December. We're going to be doing a little game, a Cortex game. And I think that's all the news from me. And I'm excited to jump back into this adventure.
Same here, same here. Next, we have the wonderful Diana. Diana, if you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Hi, I'm Diana, or Super Dylan, everywhere on the internet. You can find me here every Saturday. You can check out over on, what is the YouTube channel, Kira?
Oh, you can find out the Cookout TTRPGs.
The Cookout TTRPG YouTube, released on Mondays for our Bonds Beyond Time, Mage the Ascension campaign. You can, starting this Wednesday, you will see me in a brand new show on Wednesday at 9 p.m. The location on Twitch is to be announced, but I'm very, very excited about it. I am playing a very cute rat girl, and I really hope you look out for that. Otherwise, you could see me streaming. You could find my games and everything else that I'm doing, superdylan.com. Everything is there. And today I play Elliot.
All right. Making our way down, we have the wonderful Adrian. Aries, you would like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on?
Sure thing. Hey, everybody. I'm Adrian, or Aries. You can call me whichever you like. And you can find me here always on Saturdays playing Jesse Diaz. On this channel as well. And we have another project which might come up on this channel at some point. A TBD or TBA, I guess. Otherwise, you can find me over at twitch.tv/thebearpen, where on Sundays we are on book 2 of Blood on the Bayou, our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition chronicle set in New Orleans. And we're very excited because tomorrow we have Bonnie Gordon, who's going to be guest starring, and we have OG Brown Sugar as well. Velvet Divine is going to be guest starring, which is a heck of a lot of fun. Of course, it features Kira and as well as Galiza as cast members. So I'm the storyteller for that. And also at so that starts at 2 p.m. At 8 a.m. Pacific time, we have Rage Across the Fire, which is our Werewolf the Apocalypse campaign, which is sort of like in our interconnected universe that we're building there in New Orleans for a couple of shows. And yeah, it is a lot of fun. I play Finn Aegis, the Glasswalker. And yeah, we're actually doing our finale of book 1 tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, so for me it's tonight, but for y'all it's tomorrow. Other than that, we do have a couple of projects coming up, which are probably going to be starting in January. We have our Mage the Ascension game, which Ree is going to be the storyteller for, which is going to be on Tuesdays. Rights of the Bayou, so that is going to be a heck of a lot of the fun too. I'm looking forward to that. And our upcoming D&D show, Thala Unbound, which is going to be starting on Fridays, but that is soon-ish, probably December, I guess. But either way, you can follow me at the Adrian Bear on Twitter, or you can follow the Bearpen directly at the Bearpen. And that's a me. It's a me.
Ooh, all right. Making our way across, we have the wonderful Glyza. Glyza, you would like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on?
Hello, hello. Hi, I am Glyza, a person with many hats. I'm a podcast host. I am a writer. I'm a TTRPG player. My podcast is called Classical Adventures for One. It is a podcast that delves into classic books and the impact that it has on all of media until today. I'm working with different podcasters that will be voice acting on both Classical Adventures for One and a project that I'll explain later. But we will be exploring Poirot Investigates and Agatha Christie for season 2. All of the recordings are done. Just getting some art stuff together. Season 2 is going to be fantastic. In the meantime, check out season 1 where I talk about Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I am also working on a horror urban fantasy audio drama where there will be nightmares come to life, called Nightmare Hunt. So keep an eye out for that. I have very big plans on who the monsters will be, because it's just exciting. I love getting a lot of monster admirers to be the monsters that they want to play. Today, though, I'm wearing my TTRPG hat, and I am that player, yes, who plays a lot of different characters, most of them with secrets, but not all of them, and most of them have been revealed. No more secrets for me, I swear. You can find all of my links on bio.link/classical Glyza for the channels. Bleh. For the channels that I do the shows on. But really, follow me on Twitter as Classical Glyza, where I announce all kinds of things with a hint of shit posting. One final announcement, January 23 will be known as Dragon Day. Mark my words. Anyway, today I will be playing Sloon, the on-the-run changeling that's slowly collecting dragons to fight a scary wizard.
I like that statement right there. That can go on the resume. Make our way across. We definitely have the wonderful Reed. Where you like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Of course. Hello, everyone. I am at Big Dude Ree on the Twitters. Today, I will be playing the lovely Silver-tongued bard, Avis Nokwani, who is just living life at the moment, pondering reality. I also do a number of wonderful things here on this channel, including Bonds Beyond Time, SDST, Ardris, and Rivenwood Academy, which you should definitely check out. I also appear occasionally over on the Bear Pin, and I will also be doing Right to the Bayou. So definitely check us all out, because all of the stories are exciting, and some things may have recently happened. Who knows?
Just a couple of things.
As for yours truly, I am Kara858. Of course, as I mentioned, we have Riverwood Academy, which just switched over to YouTube, so make sure to check out our YouTube channel at the Cookout TTRPGs. That will be coming out on Tuesdays in the morning time, normally around 9 and 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of course, you'll also can see Bonds Beyond Time. You'll be able to see one of our new shows, Gods of Color, which is going to have an incredible trailer coming out in the near future. One of the members may have seen this trailer already, and we both squealed in delight. It's still a work in progress, but nevertheless, I cannot wait to show you all what we're working on. That should hopefully be coming out relatively soon. And we also have a couple other projects coming out in the near future. Again, you can keep an eye out on by following us on the Cookout TTRPG on our Twitter. We'll keep all of our information for all of our TTRPGs, as well as giveaways, so forth and so on. As for yours truly, I'm also utilizing a new microphone, so in case some things kind of seem a little bit off, please let us know in chat. We will definitely work hard to get that adjusted for you. And so with that said, I think we have everything set up for our announcements, so we're going to jump right into our intro video for episode 19 of Lords of Faerun.
Latreo, Avis, Jesse, Helena, Ice, Elliot, Aliza as DM. Lords of Faerun.
All right, and we are now back. So with that said, Lisa, take it away.
All right. So, you all had quite the adventure with two new friends, one of whom has decided to stay on with you and adventure with the party going forward. Bloom, a druid fairy who is looking for people. And this entire party has some element of either missing connections with people or having disrupted connections with family. And it seems like Bloom fits right into that as well with this party. So that's something you all kind of have in common with her. You all have left the forest where you met back up with your dragons, the border forest that's near the Dale Lands, just outside of Daggerfall. You have traveled across to the east, passing by the Cormanthor forest, and just south of Dragon's Pine Moor. No, Dragon's Pine Mountains. Sorry to read it on the map. And you approach, pass over the Moon Sea, and you're basically now turning south, back down towards the Sea of Fallen Stars, where this all began. And we're actually skipping ahead to you arriving back at the island of Vaishnthar. You all have crossed back over the Daylands, Symbia, and the broad waters with gentle waves open up in front of you. You see the Pirate Isles further in the distance, the Isle of Presper off ahead to the right. And in between those two places, you can't see it yet, but you know it's there. You've all been there except for one of you. The silently hidden and gently protected by the power of the mother, the island of Vaishnthar. This is where we began our story. This is where the party got its start. After having done a few jobs together, you all came here and assembled, and this launched your tale. And now the dragons and you coming back home to Vaishnthar, coming back home to Jesse's home, which now is also de facto your home. You all sense, especially Jesse, you get this strong sense of the mother welcoming you back. And as you get closer to the spot in the ocean where the island is, you see a gentle haze kind of come in front of your vision. And when it clears, there is the island. And Bloom, you see this as well.
As we get closer, as we particularly get through that haze, Elliot leans in and like whispers to Leonid for a second, and then goes, "Latreia,
Yeah.
race you back."
Oh no! And they immediately remember their race last time. It's like round 2, you could do this, no roots. and they'll take off trying to.
We take off.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and do a little race roll. So, I think we said
Animal handling, right?
Animal handling.
Yeah.
For these types of special rolls with the dragons, and we'll make it opposed.
So fortunately, with the new rune in place for leveling up, I get advantage now for animal handling. But
wow.
The alien probably has a higher animal handling than I do.
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, well, there's no way I'm catching up with that one.
Well.
Oh! It was a 22, but there's no way I'm catching up.
Yeah, 20.
Nat 20 plus 6.
Yeah. Oh, we got a plus 6.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Dang it.
Yeah. So Elliot and Leonid, even like hanging back a little bit to let Latreia and Snowroot catch up, you still just zoom past them.
Yeah.
Just like jet off toward the island.
But Latreia looks down at Snowroot and says, "Elliot knows all the routes, the right routes. They know how to get through the red pressure.
And Snowroot is like, yep, that's what it is. Mhm.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll give them one the third time. It's all right.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Snowroot says.
Hey, if you're not worried about it, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he was a bit more concerned about how Snowroot was taking it. But if she's fine with it, then yeah, they'll just go back into chilling mode. But they'll still keep this in mind. Round 3 will be coming in the future.
I have a
Jet-
question.
Mhm. Yes.
Am I riding with anybody or am I flying myself?
You would have to, because you're nowhere near as fast as the dragon.
Oh god, yeah. I'd be like, take off. I'd be like, I'll see you. Okay, bye.
I offer, let's retcon a little bit. I offered Bloom a ride on Treebush.
Okay, cool.
Great. Yep. And it is so.
Jesse just has the biggest smile on his face, and he leans in a little bit to Jackson and says, "I mean, we've got to take a swim. You know, we got to take a swim."
Yes, that I have missed the waters of the Vaishnthar coast. Absolutely. You want to go now?
Let's do it. He's just holding on to his neck, and they're going into the water.
His nose dives straight into the water. And you're greeted by the beautiful blue-green serenity of the Vaishnthar coastline. And you see underneath there the coral and the fish and turtles that all live under the sea. It's like they're greeting you home. They're welcoming you home, Jesse.
I'm just gonna keep on swimming.
Loon is in her best behavior, just because we have a guest, and Treebush is like, I want to race, I want to do, I don't know, maybe knowing how Treebush is, but Loon is like, we are in best behavior mode. We have a guest. We don't want to accidentally throw the little thing off of our drag of your back. So we're just like. We're not racing. We're just flying normally so that Bloom doesn't like get torn off like by the wind or something, and we land nicely on the island.
Great. Yeah. And before you said that, yes, you could sense that Treebush was wanting to do that because Treebush was kind of winding through the air and kind of like just flapping his wings and then coasting like. Doing some nosedives and like you felt like Treebush was about to do some alley-oops and things like that.
As we do, because we're known for the alley-oopings. And I was like, I speak in Draconic to my Treebush, and it says, hey, we're just gonna land first and make sure Bloom is fine, and then we can do the stuff that we want to do.
Yeah.
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 Goes straight for the beach and lands.
And then we sort of like look at Bloom, and I was just like, hey Bloom, this is the island. You are.
That was so much fun. She was having the time of her life with even the minor stunts. Like in her head, she was like, this is so much cooler than anything I've been able to do. Her favorite thing to do is like float or like kind of hover around in like various positions, do little like aerial stuff. She is like a one-woman roller coaster in her own wings, and she can't go very fast. So like this is ideal. It couldn't. She's giddy. She's so happy. She's like, dragons are so cool. I've been missing out. So she says, thank you so much. And then like she looks down at Slim's dragon and just like very gently like gives some pets, and it's like, that was so cool. But she can't speak Draconic, so I don't know if the dragon understands, but she's just speaking in, I guess, Common is probably like the thing most likely for everybody to share. So she's just speaking in Common, and she's like, that was really cool, thank you. And then she like gets off so that they can do their thing.
Yeah, and the minute that Bloom gets off, Sloon does the version of like yip yip for the Avatar and just like does that with Treebush, and it's all about the alley-ooping and just, because he's excited to be home. This is the only home he knows, and he's excited to be home.
Yeah. Sloon, go ahead and roll insight.
Okie dokie. 22.
Oh, yeah. So you noticed before you did your yip yip, when Bloom was kind of like gently patting Treebush kind of blushed, as much as a dragon can blush. You noticed Treebush got a little bit kind of like verklempt, as they would say in New Jersey, where I'm from.
I will tease Treebush about it.
That's
Roll
wrong.
to bully.
You're a little pinker than usual. What's going on?
She's cute.
He's adorable.
She's just really cute, and she petted me.
Okay, well, whenever you're
The
ready,
antlers. It's
we
the
can
antlers.
talk about stuff. Anything you want to talk about, Treebush.
There's nothing to talk about. I just, whatever, have a little crush.
Dating sim. Dating sim. Dating sim.
Sure, Treebush. Sure.
Nothing.
It's it's not like you have a crush or anything, right? It's nothing,
It's
right?
just whatever.
Right.
Yeah, Treebush is not trying to hide, but also just not like Treebush. This is Treebush's first crush, and just doesn't even know how to handle it.
That's so cute. That's so cute.
Perfect.
As we sort of come up to the coastline or whatever, Jesse's gonna do the hot surfer boy walking out of the ocean thing, flicking the hair back.
Right, and Jackson right along with you. Jackson actually takes his. Before he dove into the water, he actually secured his belongings and his glasses into his little pouch. And now coming out of the water, you both are shaking water off, and he pulls his glasses out and like shakes water off of them, puts them on slow motion, you both walking up onto the water.
A breeze comes up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Avis and Yuki, how is your arrival at the island?
Well, Avis will look at Yuki. Well, did you want to show off with them, or do you just want to return home simply?
I mean, I'm not a show off.
It's always the first time.
Actually, there's somewhere I want to take you. And Yuki veers off to the right, which is to the west of the island. And the rest of you, in your various approaches and things, if you noticed, you would see that Avis and Yuki are now heading towards the west side of the island. And as a reminder, and also an introduction to our new player, the east side, middle and east side of the island are where the sea elves and their people live, the Vaishnthari. And these are the people who have been on this island for a long time. These are Jesse's people that he was raised with, and he now has family and children with. Mostly sea elves, but then a couple of other people of different races here. There's a village, and the east side of the island is where they have a beautiful beach where they have lots of ceremonies. And there was actually a ceremony that occurred in our first episode, and there was an intruder on the island who somehow found the island. And long story short, go back and watch episode 1, viewers, if you'd like to see what happened then. And on the west side, where Yuki is now taking Avis, that is the side of the island where there's this big rock formation, almost like a hill of rocks, towards the west center of the island. And that's where the dragons have set up their home. The dragons that this party brought to the island as a new kind of like foster home for them. These dragons that they pretty much rescued from being killed by a ravenous cult that was like crazy for dragon blood. They wiped out this cult, and now the surviving dragons are all young dragons. They were wormlings when this happened, but now they are young dragons. And the rest of them have stayed on the island, living here in the rock formation. Yuki flies a a little bit underneath the rock formation, so you don't really see the top of it, but she flies past it and goes towards the rocky beach down there. And she sets you down, Avis, here on a rocky beach with gentle waves crashing. And she says, I always used to come here for some quiet time away from the other dragons. Just thought it might be nice. You might want some quiet time too. There's just been a lot. A lot has happened since we were last here.
Yes. A lot of things have happened. Some of them good and some complicated.
Yeah. We haven't talked about you meeting your mom after all these years.
Oh, yes. Well, I can tell you she is doing quite well for herself. It appears she was a lot stronger than I'd given her credit for. Also, apparently, she now rules the city, which was also partially my fault since I kind of ate a woman, which was not my proudest moment ever, but I suppose it'll make a fun story to tell people.
I'm glad we didn't go into the Underdark, but I wish I could have seen that.
I am very good at granting people what they wish. And he will cast a minor illusion and basically replay the events of what happened in the Underdark, leaving out the boring parts like getting poisoned and all that good stuff, and definitely primarily show things that make him look wonderful in the process.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yuki watches this wide-eyed, and let me just see something. Okay. She watches this wide-eyed and very excitedly, and as it comes to an end, she sees that creature that you turned into, and it's just kind of watching in awe. And then as the minor illusion comes to an end, she turns to you and she says, okay, so how much of that was actually how it happened?
You don't believe that I would tell you the truth? That hurts. That's my heart.
You're trying to impress me.
Well, I can tell you that everything you saw is true, though some of it may have made me look a bit more interesting. But it is true.
So what now for you? Your mom is running this drow city. You've gotten your answer. You freed her and other drow. What's next for you?
I don't know. The others, they are wonderful people. They're heroes, to be honest, but I'm not so sure. Who knows? I will protect the others, of course, but I'm not sure exactly what path I am supposed to trod next.
What would you say if I wanted to go north?
Well, I would say it is up to you, of course. We all have our stories, and if you feel that your story is meant to be up there, then I will, of course, support you. I can guarantee you, however, there is a very little chance that I won't be stopping by at the most inopportune times for you, of course.
When you say this, Yuki takes that in, and you can feel... Actually, go ahead and roll insight.
Oh, that's a 12, because I'm really good at insight, apparently.
You know that is what she wanted to hear to some extent. But you sense that there was something more that she was wanting to hear from you. You're not quite sure. She kind of like steps down onto the rocks where the water is washing up on them, kind of plays with the rocks there for a few moments. with her front claws.
That's something you want to say.
And she turns towards you. I don't know. It's just that we've been traveling together for so long, and I don't know. It'd be weird to go up north without you.
Well, I can't guarantee the other dragons would very much appreciate an elf in their company, but
I don't care what the other dragons think. I just care about what you think.
then I think going on an adventure with you anywhere would be wonderful.
Okay. She kind of kicks around some of the rocks again, plays in the water. Okay. And Yuki actually just gets into the water now and starts wading into it. And then turns back towards you. Water feels nice if you want to join. And she starts floating away.
He will take off his armor and his sword and join her.
Okay. And now, back to the group. Elliot, you raced in ahead of the others, you and Leonid. Which direction were you going in?
I assume we're headed straight for I like the area where Jesse's home is.
Mm-hmm.
That general vicinity. Yeah.
Great. So that would be like the center east of the island where the villages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah. So you soar into the island. It's like mid-morning right now, probably about 11 a.m. And you see people walking around, carrying baskets, some families taking their kids to the school teacher. You see just normal village life down below you as you approach. Do you want to actually like land down there? Or are you flying over it? Where would you like to go?
I think, well, just so that we don't land accidentally on anyone, maybe, just like fly just past the busy part of town and just land like right on the outskirts so that we walk back in.
Great. You do so, and as you do, you see people looking up and seeing the underbelly of Leonid. You hear faint, just people pointing and faint, excited shouts.
After we land, I'll take Leonid by the nose and give him a big kiss and say, very good, excellent job. That was all you. But we whooped him again. We got it. I think we could do this as many times as we want. I'm always down to beat Treebush in a race. Well, you did magnificent. Do you want to go see the others or do anything? I was just going to go head in and, say hello. So you're welcome to come with me, but don't let me keep you if you want to do anything else.
I'm going to wait for Treebush. I think Treebush is going to need some support if we go to see the other dragons.
Okay. Come for me if you need me at all.
Okay. Snowroot. Yes, sorry, I meant Snowroot.
Gotcha. Well, all right, I'm gonna go and say my hellos, but again, fantastic job. And just one more kiss on the snoot. And I'll be off.
Okay, and as you depart, Leonid takes back off and this time flies over the south coast of the island, just enjoying the wind and being back on the island. Okay. So, you all are kind of scattered around, but let's follow Elliot back into the village and whoever else would like to join up. You can...
Jesse has been full sprinting to his house because he just wants to hug his kids.
Great.
Yeah. After Sloon and Treebush does their circular and Treebush is like tired out. Sloan just gets dropped off by Treebush, and she waves as Treebush, is free to go wherever he wants to go, like he always is.
Bloom would join them also because she's curious. And she remembers, so far, she's had the most positive interactions with Sloan and Elliot. So she's sticking with them.
Okay. Latreia, how about you? Are you heading into town?
I think Latreia is going to make a quick turn. Not in the same. They're going to head towards the forest area of the island.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's probably the south. And let me know what is your intention? What's your goal here?
So I feel like Latreia has they're not going to want to keep Snowroot with them if Snowroot wants to return to go see, of course, their siblings. So if Snowroot wants to head back, then of course Latreia will even say nothing of it and just kind of like reside in the forest for a bit. But their intention is kind of just to think about a few things for a moment.
I'm sorry, you were kind of dipping out towards the end.
Oh, sorry. Most likely my gate. They're probably saying they're probably thinking about a few things. Mostly just contemplating about the idea of home and kind of like, they heard Jesse reference the home. They also heard Elliot referencing this place as home. And then for Latreia is thinking about, well, originally their home was the forest. And then they got a new home, kind of like they returned home back in Vasa. So they're trying to just do some self-meditating on what this home truly means. So they will probably head to the forest. And when we get some time to it, they'll probably send a message out to their grandmother, see if they can reach on the island.
Okay. Yeah, so you head south on the island towards the more forested coast. And this is actually also where you all met Avele, the cleric, who is the conduit of the people. He's a treant, they, and he lives on the south coast and serves as a conduit between the people and the mother who protects this island. So you're kind of in that area. And being back in a forest, whether it be on an island or not, feels like home to you. You're a forest boy. And you have a new background, right? Do you want to share that with people?
Yeah, so Latreia's background is Fae lost, or Fae lost, due to the fact that they were he was taken from of course their home at an early age and was rescued by their adopted mother, who is of Fae origin.
Right.
She hasn't been fully revealed just yet, but that definitely has the Fae aspect to her. So
yeah, we're kind of like tinkering with the Fae lost background because Latreia has a lot in common with that background, even though his backstory is slightly different, but has a lot of similarities. And he was raised by a Fae wild mother. So
he definitely feels more comfortable in the forest itself. So that's why he's again trying to iron all of these feelings out of what he's going through. Because the idea of home is starting to become a bit confusing.
Interesting. Yeah, so Latreia, you spend time meditating in the forest on the idea of home. And the rest of you, and Avis, I'll let you decide if you want to also join this. The rest of you, actually, Avis, you're probably you can join the scene at some point if you like. Any of you can, who are not here. But I believe it's going to be Jesse, Sloan, Bloom, and Elliot, who all converge upon Jesse's family's house. And Jesse, your kids have already come outside because they heard other kids pointing up and shouting, dragons, they're back. And so the kids think maybe that means Dad is back too. And sure enough, they all run out of their hut and jump into your arms, jump on all over you, Jesse. back. You're back.
And Jesse allows himself to be kind of like tackled to the ground. You know, and as the kids, I was like, "Oh, whoa, no, slow down there! You're getting so big, I can't even keep up with you anymore."
They just are, yeah, they're all over you, smothering you with hugs. Your wife Eloa steps outside too, and she comes over and hugs you through the blanket of children that's currently surrounding you.
I don't know how you deal with this lot every day. I mean, they're just. I swear they're gonna put me in the ground.
Oh, I wish they'd greeted me like that. But I
Well,
understand.
You know, let's see what we can do about that. And he's gonna stand up and imagine he has one kid hanging off the arm, and he's just gonna pick his wife up and sort of spin around and give her a big kiss.
Oh, it's so good to have you back.
I have missed you incredibly.
Back in one piece.
Back in one piece. Back in one piece. We are home. We're home, and we found some new friends. One of them left, but we have another new friend here. This lovely being over here that is wonderfully pink with antlers. This is Bloom.
Oh, hello. And Eloa steps up to you, and you see this beautiful dark-haired woman who is sea elf. That's right? Is she half sea elf?
I
think she's.
Yeah, I think she's half elf. Yeah,
she's half sea elf. And she steps up to you and holds out her hand, Bloom. Hello.
Hi. And Bloom tends to fly instead of walk, just to be at eye level with people. And so she's like floating in front, and there's like two of her tiny hands like reach out and like cup the hand and go, "Hi, I'm Bloom. It's nice to meet you.
Welcome."
You have very, very nice children."
Oh. Well, you've known them for 2 seconds, but
That's all it takes.
well, say hello, children. And the kids all turn to you and say, "Hi." Hi.
And she flies down because they're not nearly as high as everybody else, but she likes eye leveling with people. And she says hi. And just because kids are cute and they like to be delighted, she like uses what is it called? Druid craft to make two little flowers appear in her hands and like gives them to them.
Lovely. You give them to the two younger kids, and there is a slightly older kid who I believe is probably 13 now.
Yeah, Isabel's almost 14 now.
Almost 14. And she kind of has stayed with her dad. Like she has her arm around his waist and just like is hugging him from the side this whole time.
Cute.
And I miss you, Dad.
I missed you too. I'm still working on that ship idea. We've had a few sidetracks, but I'm still working on getting that boat for us. But still, it'll happen.
That'd be so cool. That would be really cool. I mean, it hasn't been boring. The dragons have been just wild. And Eloa looks over at you and the rest of the group, and she says, "Oh yes, the dragons have been really difficult."
Oh, getting grumpy. Well, we have good news about that, don't we, Elliot?
We do.
What? You have good news? What's the good news?
Well, we happen to find where they come from, and they're welcome to go back if they choose.
I mean, they seem really cooped up here, so it sounds like they would want to be somewhere else, somewhere more comfortable for them. That is good news.
It's potentially good news if they go.
If they want to go.
If they want to go, exactly. But it is new. It's big.
Where is this place?
oh gosh, I gotta think of my geography now. Where up around northwest-ish. Real cold. I did not enjoy the cold, but it is beautiful. It is real beautiful out there.
It is very nice.
Yeah, it's called Vasa.
Wow. Okay. This is good news.
We have other news too. Speaking of Vasa, we have a name.
Oh,
Our group, we're like a group. And they call us the Dragons of Vasa. There's not like a big lot of them yet, but the people who do, it's gaining some traction.
that's a nice name.
Isn't it good? It's very good.
Huh.
Anyway, if you hear people talking about the Dragons of Vasa, that's who they're talking about.
Well, that's a snappy name. I like that. The Dragons of Vasa. I'll help spread it on the island at least.
I think that'll be
Thank you.
fantastic. Now,
And Eloa's eyes actually wander over to Sloon and says, I don't think we've met. I'm Eloa.
my manners. I completely forgot.
Is this a new member of the Dragons of Vasa?
It's catching on.
See? Rolls
my
off the tongue.
I'm gonna let you you handle this one, Sloon. This is all you.
Eloa, my name is Sloon. But also, she does a little light magic and changes into Helena pretty quickly, and also Helena, but changes back. Sloon now.
Wow. Well, I had no idea. It's nice.
Right.
Nice
I mean,
to meet you again.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people had ideas, except maybe for Avis. But yeah, I'm trying to be true to myself as I promised them, and she basically points in a general direction of everybody, mostly at Elliot, but everybody really, true to myself, and this is who I am. Sorry for lying all those years. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
We are mostly sure this is the real her.
Although,
99%.
Yeah, sometimes, she can look like a mini Latreia. It's hilarious, but
That is pretty funny.
It is funny. And then she does it just to show how funny it is.
Eloa was going to ask you to do it. So as you transform into this mini Latreia, Eloa starts giggling, just like...
And then with the same voice of Latreo, she goes, I won't eat as much as him, but, I can look like him. So there's that. Not as tall as him, but,
Well, the catch was very plentiful and bountiful this morning. So even if you did eat as much as Latreo, I think we could cover you.
That is good to hear. And then Sloon changes back to her original changeling self.
Wow.
at this point, Jesse has got Jacob up on his shoulders. Did you grow an inch or something? You're getting heavy, little man.
Yeah, Mom said I did grow a lot. I'm growing.
That you are. Well, and speaking of growing and food, where is that grandmother of mine?
Oh, she went back out to do some more fishing. I went with her for the first catch, but I'm just getting settled in the house and cleaning up a little bit. We should have some lunch ready soon.
Well, let me be a good husband and take over for you so you can enjoy some relaxation.
That's what I like to hear. Why don't you, how about this? Now that we have all of you back, why don't we have lunch on the beach?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Lynn does not like that. But she doesn't say anything because she remembers the last time people ate at the beach and what had happened. She doesn't say anything. She's just like emanating the whole, I don't want to do that. But not saying anything.
Understandable.
So like Bloom looks around and is like, sure. I'll probably grab my own food. But I'd love to join you.
Sloon offers to go with you. Where do you want to go? I will go with you to look just for food. I don't want to go to the beach at the moment yet, so let's do some other things.
Well, I was thinking there's foresty like area, right? Like on this island, if I understand correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Just wait
so-
till you meet.
Oh, that wasn't in
Adelaide.
character. That was out of character. This is not Bloom's voice. If it's deep AF, that's mine. No, I couldn't remember the topography of the island, or if Bloom would know it. But if Bloom does know it, then like, I'd probably go to the forest to get, because I tend not to eat human. She hesitates to call it that, but like food.
That's okay. If you want, you can. And Sloon points at her shoulder. Just in case you want to rest your wings or whatever. I have my shoulder here.
Sure. And then Bloom like plops up and like just settles down. And it's like, I mean, she is small, but like she is still like 2 feet tall. So it's still like having quite a sizable toddler on your back.
It's fine. Sloon offered and she is not taking it back.
That is not the same as being okay.
The Glyza the player is like, oh, okay, I wasn't really thinking. But Sloon the character is like, I already said something. Okay. As they're walking towards the forest, Sloon slyly whispers, talks to Bloom, not really whispers. So what do you think of Treebush? Just does that.
Treebush is your dragon, right?
Yeah, what do you think of him?
Out of character, what does Treebush look like again?
So Treebush is a young white dragon. So like white, kind of slightly shimmery opalescent scales, but a young dragon is large size, so probably, did we decide, I think like about a little bit smaller than Latreyu, probably like 8 feet-ish, 8 or 9 feet. And yeah, Treebush has been described as, of the dragons, to have a little bit of like a frat boy demeanor, like he's like very eager to try things, eager to do things, is a little bit bro-y as well.
Yes, he's
out of character.
Himbo.
I am in love with this dragon.
He's my himbo dragon.
Yeah, he's a himbo. Yeah.
It's so
100%.
Then yeah,
100%.
Bloom's just like, oh, Treebush is the coolest.
Yeah, the coolest? Would you say that to him when you see him later?
Sure. Of course.
I would love that. Can I be there? I just want to, encourage my boy. He needs a lot of encouragement. So if you could just
he does?
tell him a lot of like cool things that you think about him, that would be fantastic.
Of course. I'd be more
I
than
kind
happy
of want Bloom to roll insight.
All right. Let's see.
See if she's picking up what's going on here.
Ooh, I have a +5 on insight, so let's see. Okay, I rolled a 13 +5, 18.
Okay. You get the feeling that Sloon has an agenda.
I care about my boy. That's the only agenda I have.
You're trying to be the perfect wing person, you know what I mean?
That's my job. I have the wings. But yeah, so Bloom is just like a little confused, and like part of her is just like, I feel like there's more. I feel like I'm missing something. But on the other hand, she's like, but I always feel like I'm missing something with these, with literally everyone. They eat the weirdest things. They do weird things. They say weird things. Nobody knows who Frith is, which, and so she's just like, is he okay?
He's okay. It's just, sometimes the other dragons make fun of him, and his confidence isn't as good. And I just try to encourage him whenever whenever he's sad. If you could see that, whenever he's a little quiet and doesn't want to talk that much, if you could just encourage him, I think he likes you as a friend. Trust you.
That's so sweet. I had a great time riding with you two. She's like, I can't get rid of the feeling that I'm missing something, but at the same time, she's like, I have no reason to doubt this person, and like, she's very sweet, being benefit of the doubt type person. So she's like, in her head, she's like, yeah, all right. I mean, Treeleaf was pretty cool. I'd love to hang out with Treeleaf more and get to know him better. And if I can help, then I will help. And so she's just like, okay.
Oh, also, Sloon is like totally not wingmanning it. She just wants to see Treebush like
embarrassed,
die of embarrassment. This is a bullying tactic for her dragon. This is not a This is not a hey Treebush.
That is so sweet.
That is what Sloon is doing. If it wasn't clear, Sloon is bullying her dragon. That is what's happening here.
I can't wait for the next Treebush. But yeah, so while they're talking, like Bloom's keeping her eye out for moss, particularly nice looking rocks. She might see like a nice chunk of like shiny rock and then be like, oh, and like hop, like kind of like fly off the shoulders and like start kind of like just to like, 'cause she has like pretty long like nails. She's a Faerun. She's like just kind of like picking through, and she's like, ah, nice. And there's like a piece of like rose quartz, and she eats it. She just
wow.
Yeah. So good. Sorry. I just needed a snack. And then she starts to gather some of the rocks and some of the moss and like just kind of has them like a salad in her hands.
As you've been gathering these things and gathering the salad in your hands, and Sloon with you following along behind her, you have found yourself, you've basically made a path through the southern wood of this island down to the southern coast. And you find yourself not too far from a cove, just through the trees ahead of you. And a large, thick-trunked tree stands kind of in the center of the cove. I believe, Sloon, you did not, you weren't, you
I
did?
was there. Yeah.
You were there. Okay, so you actually would recognize this cove, and you would recognize this tree. This is Avile. Avile, you're approaching from behind where Avile usually faces, but you kind of sense his presence. You sense, and Bloom, you being a fae, you sense that this tree is sentient as well.
Friend.
Sloon approaches in a very respectful manner, and sort of like she doesn't know whether she should bow or not, but she does anyway. She goes, I think I should introduce myself properly to you, sir, because the last time you saw me, I was not who I was, really, and I think you kind of knew that at least.
Avile, his face is not visible yet on the trunk of the tree, but you see the tree start to sway in its branches with beads and coral trinkets kind of gently clanging against each other. kind of shakes himself awake, and then you see the face appear and the eyes open and look at you, Sloon. And Avele says, "Ah, yes. You have decided to show your true face."
Yeah. I wasn't forced to do it or anything, you know. I totally chose to do it. But yeah, I'm here now as who I am.
Yet you're still running.
Kind of hard to stop when you've been doing it for so long.
I think I can understand that.
Yeah.
Bloom
I could
comes
never
up
really
also.
I could never really keep my secrets from like very smart you know, wonderful creatures such as your majesty. You know. So
I know in character we didn't hear that. We heard it.
It transitioned to the multiverse. It's a Zoom. It's a Zoom.
Like in those anime where you talk about someone and then there's a panel and they
Avele says, "Well, once you decide to run in the direction of what you fear, I think you will see that you are more than equipped to face it."
so everybody tells me. I think it's hard to agree after I've seen what that can do. It's hard to agree. But, you know, I guess if I tell myself that every single day, maybe I will eventually believe it. This is Bloom, by the way. And just points.
Bloom has respectfully been pretending she can't hear, even though her ears are literally the length of her head. But she's like had them like drooped down, as if for some reason, like, because they're basically like fairy versions of like their bright pink cow ears, and she's had them like droop down like to pretend that makes it harder to hear. And like one of them like perks up at her name and is like, "Hi there," and then she bows and she goes, "Hi," which is also like bowing difficult when you're flying, because if you overdo it a little bit too much, you somersault. And so she bows a little bit and she's like, "Ooh, hi, hello, Bloom Dazzlewood at your service."
Avele turns and uproots some of his roots from the beach so that he can turn his trunk to see you. And you see this beautiful ceiba tree, majestic, with this chaotic yet orderly mess of tree trunk and branches, decorated with beads and coral. At his feet, you can see there's moss. You were looking for moss. There's moss on his roots.
I won't touch that.
Probably the respectful choice. You can see also all sorts of offerings and bowls. It's like there's in the front, actually, once he turns, some of it comes with him. You can see flowers and bowls and little trinkets and beechwood statues that are carved in the shape of a woman that have been rested at his trunk and his roots. And he turns to look at you, and you see this like warm, friendly face in the trunk of the tree. "Hello, my child. Bloom. Welcome to the island. The mother is glad you're here."
For having me. I'm very excited to be here with all these cool new people. And she like looks over at someone and is like, "And cool dragons."
And Avele continues to look at you, Bloom, silently, and then finally says, "You are searching for something. Someone. You may ask the mother 3 questions,
Hmm?
and she will answer yes or no.
Right now?
When you are ready.
I'm ready. I wasn't sure.
I will be here for a long time, I hope. So you can ask whenever you want.
Can I ask already? Are they okay?
Avele closes his eyes, and you can feel him communing with a higher power. And with his eyes closed, he answers, the mother, the answer I'm getting back is difficult to say yes or no. It is neither.
As curious as she doesn't want to waste her 2 other questions before she can think about how to best use them. So she just goes, "Well, I guess that makes sense. I'm kind of neither without them too. I'll save my other 2 for when I have good questions. But thank you. I appreciate it, and I hope I can make them okay soon."
Gladly. I will be here when you are ready. And Avele turns back towards the shore and kind of settles back down into his roots in the beach and the sandy dirt. And says, "Well, my children, enjoy the island while you are here. I sense that you will be off on more adventures soon." Oh, you're muted, Glyza.
Sloon bows awkwardly and just sort of like walk away bowed because she's just like, cool. Bows and then backs away and then just sort of like signals to Bloom to be like, let's go.
Like Bloom just like bows a little too much, does a little somersault, catches herself, and is like, okay. And then like flies after Sloan.
Okay, and with that, we will take our break here.
Ooh, yes. All right. So once again, thank you all for coming by and watching our stream. If you like what you see here, would like to talk about our campaign, we have a Discord, which is currently in chat. You can be able to join us. We have a section for spoilers as well as non-spoilers. We have an artwork section. And of course, that's where we post our VODs for when it's released on YouTube. We would love to hear your thoughts about our characters, the campaigns, the lore, and the plots that's happening behind the scenes. So we're going to take a quick 10 to 15 minute break, and we'll see you for the second half of Lords of Faerun. With that, farewell for now. All right, and we are back for the second half of Lords of Faerun. So with that said, Aliza, take it away.
So, in a different part of the forest, we go back to Latreia, our forest boy, one of our 2 forest boys. Yeah. You have found a quiet part of the forest and have just taken some time to commune with nature, to get back centered with yourself. I think you said you were thinking about what home means.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you wanted to try to commune with your grandmother. Okay, let's do this as a roll.
Ooh, okay.
So we'll say, I'm thinking insight. Oops. How does that sound to you? Is that what Latreia would use for this, do you think?
Latreia will probably try. Because I feel like storm giants normally use Arcana, right? For their magic? Or is it? I mean, either or is perfectly fine.
Yeah, are you? Yeah, I guess it depends on how you're approaching this. So if you're using magic, then yes, it could be an Arcana roll. But if you're trying to like communicate with your grandmother,
Okay, that would be insight. All right, then yeah, I will go ahead with insight.
okay.
Insight's better. All right, here we go. What? Okay, that's that'll be a 17 total.
Okay. Yeah, so tell me how you meditate. What does that look like? Latreia meditating.
So Latreia will lean across a tree that could handle his large stature, and as he leans across, leans against the tree, his back placed flexed against it. They would sit cross-legged, and they would actually grab the horn that Shireen provided to them, and they would take a long look at that horn, take a deep breath, and then just blow it extremely loud into the air as like a call to his grandma. And then kind of like just look back at the horns and see if a voice or something appears.
Yeah. You don't see or hear with your ears. You're using a different sense now that you haven't used very much. Just in your inner mind, you sense the presence of someone. And the image it evokes in your mind is that of a roiling, dark, opaque thunderstorm. And this thunderstorm in your mind speaks to you. And it says, Latreia? Latreia, is that you?
So it worked. Mother told me that I couldn't talk to you like this, but I didn't know if I could do it. It's good to hear from you. Can I talk to you about something?
Speak up, child. I can't hear you.
Is it all right if I talk to you about something?
Yes.
So I'm trying to understand what home is. I feel like home is becoming different for many of us. My home was originally the forest because that's where I spend most of my life. Then I reunited with Mother and Shireen back in Vasa. And it was hard to leave. So the forest was my home. And then my friend Elliot, they're normally from the forest. But when we came here to this island, he called the island home. And so I'm confused. What makes home? And can home change?
When you've lived such a short life as you have, it may be hard to understand how often things change. But yes, even things that seem constant and unchanging, like home, do indeed change. You are just at the beginning of your journey, but you will have many homes. over your many years. You are finding more of them the more that you grow.
And that's not a bad thing.
You hear this booming like thunder, and you realize that it's laughter. And she says, "No, that is a good thing. It is the best thing. It is lucky to have even one home that you feel secure in, but to have many, that is a blessing."
Okay. Just one more question. Is it all right? Is it possible even to merge my two backgrounds of sorts? Like I've noticed, Mother, when I talk about my ideas for handling the frost giants and such, she has a particular outlook on things, not so in danger and hurt into the world, even if you experienced it. While my adopted mother, she believes in strength and protecting the forest and channeling anger and an eye for an eye. So there's different viewpoints between two of the individuals. I would say two of some of the individuals I care about the most. So one, I'm confused, but two, I would like for them to meet, but I'm also, I guess afraid is not the right word because I can't be afraid, but I'm concerned what that would bring if I tried to merge the two together.
You sense the thundercloud of your grandmother rolling through, considering these thoughts you've put to her. And she says, "But Atreyu, you are the intersection of those identities. You have nothing more to do to join them, for you are the joining. You must simply be and exist to do so."
So I don't have to meet each other.
You are exactly as you are. Just by being, you are doing.
Okay. Okay. That at least makes it a little easier.
You hear the booming again, and you even see some flashes of lightning in your mind. And she says, "When we are mortal, when we have bodies made of flesh and bone, we think things are so complicated, but they're not. They are so much more simple than we make them to be."
I will have to try doing that more often. I think I talk to Avis too much. Avis is very complicated. But thank you. Thank you. I feel better now. I would definitely like to talk to you more often. Sad it took this long.
Well, I am here. You know where to find me.
I do. See you soon.
And you sense that cloud rolling away out of the sky in your mind and into the horizon.
Latreia looks up. There's a genuine smile. The slight dimples appearing on the side of their cheeks. Then they kind of like pushes their hands against their knees, pushes themselves up from off the ground, cracks their neck from side to side, and heads back to the village.
Okay. And we'll pick back up with Latreia joining the rest of the group back at the village. Latreia, you didn't get the memo per se, but you just kind of follow the where everyone seems to be heading. You see villagers, sea elves, half sea elves, and family members of Jesse heading out to the beach where they have their events, where you were in attendance for the formal dinner that night. And you see, once you arrive at the beach, your companions are all standing, waiting to be seated. But you see several tables on the beach. A lot of the village has come together to join in this welcome home celebration for your party, the Dragons of Vasa, newly named Dragons of Vasa. And you see, of course, Latreia, big pot of rice and beans in the center. Yeah, there is a central table, a long table with a big pot of rice and beans, a roast, and lots of bowls and plates filled with beautiful sea vegetables and fruits.
Arroz con dulce.
Oh,
Arroz con dulce, right?
Well, actually, arroz con gandules is the big pot. Arroz con dulce is a dessert that is also here.
Oh, okay.
And that's basically rice pudding,
which is delicious.
So it's all here.
Before Latreia can jump in and grab that big bowl, a big, cauldron, I turn to grandmother and I say, "Do you have a big bowl just for him? Because, he might just grab it and drink out of that cauldron, just."
And she says, "I didn't get much of a heads up that you all were coming, but I have another pot back in my home. Yes, I have another pot cooking."
Perfect. Thank you. Just making sure, you know how he is with food.
Oh, I remember.
It was good.
Jesse has set up like a little stand-in table and such, and he is just making a whole big mess of caipirinhas and starting to
let's just island
those
this
out.
Yeah, let's there's also some villagers have brought their instruments, their steel drums.
Yeah.
You can hear those high tones of the steel drum and xylophone and some shakers and guajiros, and just we're making this all full island, all right? Island party on the beach.
There's definitely a circle of folks doing the fun capoeira stuff that's happening, just the fun flashy stuff.
Loon is still in the back, nearest to as far away from the beach as possible, but still being part of the party. And she's standing there with Treebush and, just having Treebush get food for her and then come back.
I'm actually going to walk over to Siva with a caipirinha, and I'm going to speak to her in Aquan. Your wrestling partner's back if you want to go for round 2.
So Siva, the powerfully built lady warrior who is one of the 2 main leaders of the protective forces of the island, full sea elf. She has her brawny arms crossed, and she's holding a caipirinha, and she kind of laughs. She says, I didn't want to be too forward with him, so it's just letting him get reacquainted with the island. But I noticed.
Please do be more forward with him, because we all find it hilarious. And again, this is all an Aquan. How have things been? When we left, I mean, I know there was potential trouble heading up with Sahuagin, but what's been going on in Presper?
Yeah, we last were there a few weeks ago, and there seems to be still some concern about the Sahuagin, but no outward threats lately.
Well, that's good
They
news.
still don't. Yeah, no one else. They still think we're coming from that other island, as far as I know. They don't know about Vaishnthar.
That's a relief. I gotta tell you, that's a relief. Oh, we've been, I mean, this is kind of far up north, but still, I think it's probably something we want to, take into account. There's these folks called Zentarum, and they've been causing a whole bunch of mess for a whole bunch of people, and pitting folks against each other. So, keep your eyes out for things that don't make sense when you dig into them.
All right.
And,
Interesting.
Big fella's over there. I'm sure you can surprise him when he's got his face half in that giant pot of grandmother's food. But I'll leave that up to you. And Jesse's gonna walk off.
She chuckles and keeps sipping her caipirinha, watching Latreyu from afar.
And I'm gonna distribute drinks to everybody, and hand one to Elliot, and give a warm smile. And Bloom, do you drink?
Oh, you're muted.
I think you're muted, Brandy.
Yes. Bloom does drink.
Fantastic.
She does not handle it very well because she is
Excellent.
about 30 pounds.
Fair.
But she's standing there. She's just kind of taking everything in. She's got a bowl like that she fashioned at some point. There were bowls, but she just made her own out of bark, and it has a salad of moss and rocks, and she's just been like picking at it occasionally, like burning, like creating little fire to like make the moss crispy like chips. That she's just been kind of eating and like observing things.
Do you ever keep any of the rocks? You just pick very pretty ones, and I wonder if you eat them all or if you keep them.
I tend to eat them, but sometimes I keep them because you never know when you need a good snack.
So you just keep them just for eating later, but you never keep them just because they're pretty. Because they are very pretty.
Do you want one?
Well, I don't want to take your dinner.
Oh, it's fine. There's literally a limitless amount of dinner on this planet for me.
Well,
that's a plane.
Extremely good point. I do. It's just that one is very pretty. I would like it.
So she plucks it out and like hands it over. In her head, she is unsure of if you're going to eat it or not, or eat it later, but she's just happy to give you the pretty rock. And she grabs the slightly less pretty one and like pops it in and like chomps it down. And the little like fairy like sharpened canines are definitely working very hard.
How do you feel about seaweed?
It's a little salty, but it works.
Well, we got plenty of that in the island. And speaking of that, I might have mentioned to y'all that we had the special red variety out here, which is similar-ish to our mushrooms if we fancy doing something a little bit later on.
She does not understand what you mean. But she does remember being mildly warned off the mushrooms, so she's just gonna be like, maybe another time. But those drinks do look fun. They look interesting. They're so brightly
It's
colored.
good. What are we drinking, Jesse?
These are caipirinhas, and they're just delicious. We got some sugar cane that we grow here, and we make this ourselves. It's good.
She is drinking hers in one go.
Like as Bloom takes it down, Elliot's still mid cheers. Like, cheers, Blue. Oh.
It's gone.
Welcome to the island, Jesse.
She's not familiar with this stuff. She's like, oh, and I thought the stuff we give people was, oh.
Yeah, no, it tastes like juice going down, but it ain't juice. I can
Her nose
promise you
is
that.
fuzzy.
Bloom, I want you to roll Constitution. Let's, yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
Saw that
Down the
coming.
whole,
Saw that coming.
caipirinha.
That thing is
Does
like the
make
size
me
of
do
my
it.
stomach content. Like limit.
Yeah.
Let's see, where's my constitution?
If I have to cast Greater Restoration for this, to hook me up.
I can't, for some reason, I can't find my constitution modifier, but I rolled a 15.
Okay. Well, depending, that's pretty good even without your modifier. Are you on a digital
Take it
sheet
straight.
or
Yeah, I'm on
D&D Beyond?
D&D Beyond, yeah.
Okay, it should be one of the top rows under con.
Oh, okay, +2, so 15, 16, 17.
Oh, great. Okay.
All those rocks are probably helping.
Yeah, yes, exactly. You filled up on your forest salad, and that's definitely helping you soak up this caipirinha that you just downed. So yeah, you probably are a little bit loopy, but you're not gonna just pass out.
And like her wings like stutter a little bit, but like they maintain. She's like, this is so good.
Right.
I'm gonna go get another one. And she
I mean, I'll keep them coming. You're gonna keep drinking them. I'll keep them coming.
I think, yeah, next time it's gonna be a Constitution save.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair. She also like sees, like she's looking around and she sees what was it, tree leaf? Was it
Tree bush.
tree bush? Sees tree bush and Sloon and like waves at them, and then like waves specifically at tree bush.
Sloon happily waves back and
Tree
like
bush is
stares at tree bush.
That face though. That face though. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
I love that.
That's it. That's all tree bush does.
Sloon is very happy. Sloon is
like grinning.
ecstatic.
Avis and Yuki have made a massive ice statue of the symbol that was on the rocks that he was passing out to everybody for some reason.
Nice.
And he has cast enlarge on it, so it's like twice as big as the tray at the moment. And he is guiding everyone through music. He has the dancing lights and prestidigitation going, creating an effect in the air above the food. And, the bard is being a bard.
My goodness, what a beautiful party we have.
Jess is definitely gonna bring him a drink and say, you know, we could probably rig this statue up to be like an ice luge, and then we'd have like, you know, like an iced guy. You know, we could just have the drinks all iced and everything.
This is turning into the best party we've ever had.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely.
I think you're
It's been a while. It's
It
been a while
has.
since we were all together.
This party also has kind of a snowball effect because as other villagers hear, they start coming and it becomes more and more of a bigger and bigger crowd. Montre, if you remember Montre, who was Jesse's childhood friend, kind of like the druggy uncle of the island, has shown up. And he's kind of sidling up to Elliot and saying hi. Actually, yeah, let's dip into there for a second.
Hello. It's good to see you again.
Hey, yeah, it's good to see you too. Elliot.
That's me. I'm
Yeah.
Elliot.
Yeah, Montre.
Montre, I remember, of course.
Nice, good memory.
So, it's good to see you. Are you doing well? It's good to see everyone.
Yeah, you know, I just like to keep busy, have my fingers in a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just all over the island, back and forth, Yeah.
Everything going all right?
I mean, we try to stay away from the ice fire over there,
Yes. Well, we're kind of working on that a little bit. We have some ideas.
Yeah. Those dragons are getting a bit out of hand.
Have they caused any more trouble since we've been gone?
Oh yeah.
Has anyone been hurt or?
It's been close. They get into these fights where they're like blasting their ice breath everywhere. A couple of times they've frozen the roofs of some of the huts and got pretty close to villagers, and grandmother had to kind of lay down the law with them. They don't listen to anyone, but she was able to at least kind of tell them stay on their side of the island, at least if they're going to do that. But yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool with them. But it's more like I'm their cool uncle, but they also, I can't discipline them, you know, like they're growing dragons. They're not going to listen to me.
Right. Exactly. Well, that is sort of the problem, but I'm glad, but not surprised that your grandmother is able to get them under control. But maybe after tonight, maybe we will present them with our suggestion. We found a place where they might be happier, and it might be a win-win. They might actually like it there and will be happy, and also won't freeze any of the roofs here.
Oh, so they would leave? They would leave the island, you're saying?
If they wanted to. We just kind of want to present it to them as an option. We found this place. It turns out it's all snow and ice, and it's unoccupied, and they're welcome to it. It would kind of just belong to them. So we were thinking about just telling them, you know, as an opportunity. But again, I kind of don't want to kick them out. I just want to, let them know if they want it, it's there.
Yeah, I mean, the mother welcomed them here, so who are we to tell them they should go somewhere else, you know?
Precisely. That's my only hesitation. But to my knowledge, some of them are not thrilled with how warm it is here, so maybe they might like it better. I don't know. It's an imperfect solution, but it is possible. It might work.
Well, keep me updated on how that goes.
I definitely will. Do you anything else going on? Have you seen Jesse?
No, I just got here. My old buddy Jesse.
You should say hi, maybe.
Yeah, I should say hi. Yeah.
Maybe we should go together. I'll come with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Just go say hi to our old buddy Jesse.
So you stroll over to Jesse with Montre.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, look what I found.
Hey, Jesse, you're back.
Jesse's gonna give him a big hug and just kind of spin around and give him a kiss on the lips. How you doing, Mantra?
Hey, so good to see you. Looking great.
I mean, thank you. Always appreciate it, and you're looking good too.
Thank you.
I was actually telling folks about our our special kind of seaweed that we got growing here, and if your house happens to be available again after we're finished here, maybe we could all have a chill session.
I'm always open for business.
That sounds like a good time. But right now, I was thinking of dancing with my wife and probably with Elliot if you're down.
I'm like 1000% down. Absolutely.
All right. Well, y'all are welcome to join.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go over and get caipirinha, but I'll join you in a minute. Montre strolls over to the bar area that you had set up.
Elliot is after this gonna take some time and grabs a little bit of food, just with his hands, and is just eating, but is walking around and spending a lot more time with everybody than he did the last time he was here. Meeting each person, giving some hugs, having a little chat walking over and like sitting and listening to people play music, and is like really just like getting into the people here a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. And this midday feast is now stretched into, just like an hours long party. And a couple of hours into it, you all hear some screeching coming from the west.
Dragon screeching.
Fun screeching.
It sounds like dragon screeching. You recognize this as dragon screeching. None of your dragons have been here with you, and you know that they have Treebush. Oh, right, Treebush has been here.
Shouldn't be screaming though, because if we're any further into nursing a caipirinha, Bloom is hanging out with Sloon and Treebush.
But yeah, no, it's not Treebush screaming. It's from the other side of the island.
Latrell will look over towards the group and says, after sticking his head out of that giant bowl, fire rice pieces all across his face, because as we all know, he doesn't have any type of food etiquette in the slightest. So he kind of just like pushes it because he can feel the sticky rice on it. He just pushes out. He stands up and he says, "I'm going to take a look. I'll be back."
I'll be right with you.
I also turn to Treebush and says, "Do you recognize that voice? Do you know which one of your siblings is screeching?"
See if Treebush does. Treebush says, "Yeah, I would recognize that anywhere. It sounds like Snowroot to me."
Snowroot?
Yeah.
We should. She sounds like she's in pain. We should go.
She sounds pissed. We should go.
Yeah, we should go. So I turn to Bloom. Are you sure? Because you're not exactly. Okay. And just sort of like taps the back of of Treebush and be like, hop on, I guess.
Okay. And she gives Treebush like and actually she's a little loopy. She gives some pets and like a big on the cheek and like just swings up. And,
Sloon understands that this is a serious moment and it's a serious situation, but she also stores that in her brain.
Sloon will remember.
Yeah.
Sloon will remember.
Oh, Treebush.
Treebush is like, yeah. But yes, we should go. And
I have popped out my wings, and I'm just gonna offer anybody need a ride.
Yeah. I don't think any of our other dragons are here.
We'll grab on.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I would like to teleport 500 feet in that direction, and then do that over and over again until I arrive.
The bitchin' door. Pew, 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 pew.
Yep.
Yeah. So it seems like Avis and probably Sloon will arrive first, and then Jesse soon after, and whoever else is going with those groups.
Oh, yeah, Latrell was heading right away. So
yeah. Avis, are you able to take anyone with you when you teleport?
Yeah, I can take one person with me.
Okay. So if someone wants to go with him, they're welcome to.
Well, Latrell will probably go with Avis because they remember how they teleported last time in the Underdark.
Okay.
How many teleports would it take to get there?
Let's see. This island is probably a couple miles long. So it would take, I'm going to say like several. I'm not going to do the math right now, but it would take like several. How many can you do? Honestly,
in theory, I could do like 4. Four.
I'm happy for narrative purposes to just, you can do it. You're able to do it. But yeah, Avis and Latrell, you get there first. And you teleport to the kind of the base of this rocky hill where the dragons live on top of that. And you see a dragon fight in process. You see Snowroot is like flying around and swooping and making like nosedives past Quince and Rosebud, who are blasting ice breath at her. And you see some other dragons, some of your dragon friends also kind of like on the sides holding other dragons back. Some are getting into the fray. It's kind of chaos.
Okay. So as that notes you, when he sees Snowroot in danger, you see a huge rage shiver within his eyes, and he kind of tilts his head from side to side. The amulet glows green, and you start to hear that fade chat in the background that when Bloom appears, would be able to understand it because it's actually fake. And from there, he transitions into this full-blown storm giant, which is this huge stage, and then rushes forward into the fray to get it.
Yeah, so you bound up this rocky hill towards the fight, and as you are start bounding up, that's when Sloon arrives, and then when you get about halfway up, that's when Jesse and crew will arrive. So by the time Latreyu is getting towards the top of this hill, you all have arrived.
Stop this at once.
The dragons, it's going to be hard for them to hear you because there's screeching, there's ice breath being thrown in all directions, there's like aggressive flapping of wings, and there's even two dragons that are kind of like locked in the air flying, but their claws are entangled, scratching at each other.
In that case, Latrell would like to grab a huge rock and not throw it at one of the dragons, but at like the mountaintop to create a loud noise to startle them, to get them to stop it.
Yeah, great. Roll athletics.
Oh yeah. Advantage of E.
Like to cast polymorph on.
Okay, and what do you
on Quincy?
Okay, what are you turning him into?
A Tressum, which is like a cat with wings.
Okay, so Latreyu, what did you get on that roll?
That's a good old 27.
27. Yeah, so you hurl a small boulder up onto the mountaintop, and it lands with a large, heavy thud and causes even a little bit of vibrations into the ground. So the dragons who are on the ground feel that and notice. The ones in the air hear the commotion, and they start to turn and look at it, but then they turn back to each other to continue fighting, and they see a cat with wings flying where Quince was.
I think at the same time as all that's going on as well, I am just gonna cast Thunderous Smite, and I am just gonna stab my spear into a rock, and it makes a huge, loud, booming ring.
Okay. Yep, you cast that. And the fighting now is like come to a pause. And the two who are in the air interlocked kind of stop and push away from each other, still floating, still within like 5 to 10 feet of each other, kind of unsure. Are we going to stop? Are we going to keep going? But you have their attention now. Quince is now flapping feverishly, getting used to this new body. And just like Isma in The Emperor's New Groove starts speaking.
What is going on?
Oh my god.
Is that my voice?
Is that fine?
Oh well. Hey, who did this to me? What is going on?
Well, I believe you all were politely asked to stop what you were doing. So please land. Unless you all would like to be cute kittens. I believe Bloom would like that a lot, actually. But I would prefer not to transform you into small things.
Rosebud sweeps down and lands nearby, near where you all are standing. And she says, "This isn't your fight, so you should just stay out of it. Nobody asked you anyway."
Of course this is our fight. Why would you think otherwise? We are all together.
Well, where have you been this whole time? We're the ones who live here on the island.
Finding you a home.
Sure, I'll believe that when I see it.
I could take you there. Isn't where my home is. In Vasa.
That's what they said. And you know what? I think they're just trying to move in on our territory.
No, there's no reason. You would have no reason to lie to you. Again, we're all together in this. We would have want to take you to a place that we didn't think you would feel comfortable in.
And Quinn, still flapping in the air, says, well, how do we know you're going to take us somewhere that is actually ours? What if we get kicked out of there too?
If someone,
You're just going to keep moving us around?
If someone tries to get in on your territory, let us know, and I will take care of it. We will take care of it.
And ain't nobody kicking you out of nowhere. This is your home. But you can't be acting like a fool up in here. If you want to go up there, you can go up there. And it's a place that you might like. That's where we've been, looking for you. Because you're our family. You dingus.
That's exactly right. We were going to tell you tomorrow. We only came here because we heard fighting. But we found someplace. It's very cold and very nice, and it's unoccupied, and it is promised to you if you want it, and only if you want it. You do not have to go, but it is an option.
Whoever would like to roll persuasion, go ahead and do it. And then also perception, whoever would like to roll that.
I'll go for persuasion.
I'll do perception.
I'd like to roll perception because Bloom's still trying to get an idea of like what everybody's dynamic is.
Could I actually just give an assist on that persuasion to Elliot so that they have advantage?
Jesse, I actually would like you to roll perception specifically.
All right. Okay.
And I'm good.
Okay, yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah, we're good.
26.
Oh, nice.
30,
Okay.
20.
Yeah, really. Yeah, great rolls all around, it seems like.
Those
I also rolled perception, by the way,
Okay.
and got a 4. So
Okay. Sloan, did
So-
you roll perception? Okay.
yeah,
And
and got a 4. So
Got it.
Sloan is just like too busy focusing on Treebush, I guess. So
Yeah. Latreia, what did you roll and what did you get?
Oh, I got the dirty 20. That's why I was like, oh, Twisty in perception. I was like, okay.
In perception, great. And then Avis, what did you get? What did you roll? What did you get?
Avis did not roll. He's enjoying himself.
All right, cool. Loving the drama. Okay, so those of you who rolled perception, which I think is everyone. No, sorry. Yeah, it's everyone except Elliot. You notice the ice on the ground from this ice fight. You notice ice in the nearby treetops. You notice actually some of the trees nearby have been have dead leaves towards the top and are frozen over again. And those of you, actually so many of you have connections to the forest and to trees and to nature. You also would recognize that this is like ice damage. This is not the first time this has happened, and they've actually been destroying some of the landscape nearby. Jesse, you, with your knowledge of this land and with your 26, you actually, it's not even about the land. It's about the dragons. Taking in their demeanor and their anger, you are sensing heightened anger. And Rosebud, who landed near you, is close enough for you to see her eyes. Her eyes are kind of bloodshot with a slight purple tinge to them, which is not normal for a white dragon. And yeah, that was perception. So, yeah.
Avis, will you do me a favor? Rosebud, I'm a little bit worried about you. Well, I'm very worried about you, but I think somebody might have done something to you.
What are you talking about?
I think somebody might have put a spell on you, sweetheart.
What?
Yeah. Avis, could you check?
Yes. And I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You cast it on her, I'm guessing. And
It's just around me.
yeah, okay, like 30-foot area. Let me think for a second. You're not detecting magic. Besides just the magic that emanates from the magic users around you. Nothing outside of that. You don't detect it from Rosebud.
Well, I don't see any magic, but well, I can be careful. Why not? And I would like to cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay. So you cast it on Rosebud?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what does that do exactly?
It ends touch creature. It can end either a disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you cast that on Rosebud, and you instantly see her eyes clear up. The purple tinge is gone. The red veininess is gone, and she pauses abruptly, kind of gathering herself. And she looks around at you all and she says, well, my buzz is killed. Quince, let's get out of here.
Have you all been eating something recently?
Listen, there's not much to do on this island, and we found some things to pass the time.
What kind of things?
Go ahead and roll your nature, maybe.
All right.
After that, if it's okay, I'd like to do the same for Quince.
Sure. Actually, you could do it at the same time.
Cool.
I would like to give Lizzie Bardic Inspiration.
What
Nice.
do I roll for your Bardic Inspiration?
D10.
I mean, so that's 6.
15.
That's 6 total? Jesus.
Yeah, because I have a -2 on nature, and I rolled a 2. Plus 6 for your Bardic Inspiration is 6.
Jeez.
Okay, so Bloom, you got a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you actually have kind of like floated over to Quince, who is still flying frantically in this cat form, kind of waiting for it to go away, or hoping it'll go away, not knowing if it will. You've gotten a little bit closer to get a better look at him, and knowing about the forest, you're new to this island, but you're not new to what certain substances found in the forest can do. And you recognize that purple tinge and the red bloodshot eyes as well in this tiny cat, winged cat. Mm-hmm. You have a strong feeling that it is a certain type of tree bark that is harvested. It has to be harvested a certain way. And it's not easy to do. It actually is something that usually has to be cultivated because it's rarely found in nature on its own.
Mm-hmm. So she's like carefully approached. She's got her hands
Laughing
up.
at the
She's
chat.
like, "Hi, I'm Bloom. I'm new here, but I do know a lot about medicine and nature. And if you don't mind, I'm just gonna look at your eyes." And she keeps a very respectful distance of Quince, and is like, "Okay, so I know this. I know this bark. This bark that can do this and cause this, but I don't think they'd be able to get into it themselves. Usually, you know, the process is really difficult, and you need well, typically TBH, you need fingers to harvest it, and it has to be cultivated. Like this isn't something that they just got into or anything. You think somebody gave this to them?
Who gave this to you?
I know who gave it to him.
Jesse, I didn't want to say anything earlier, but he was acting very strange when I mentioned the dragons. I
mean,
I'm so sorry.
I've known him since we were kids. He's acting a fool. Y'all been hanging out in Montrese a bit too much.
How long does the polymorph last, by the way?
An hour
about to
of
turn.
concentration.
Oh, good. I was like, oh my god, is this dragon about to poof into full size in my face?
No, I think we're good. It's only been probably like 20 minutes. Whoever is asking that question, because I heard it asked a couple of times different ways of the dragons, like who gave this to you and have you been hanging out with Montre? Go ahead and roll persuasion or insight if you'd like to just kind of see what you pick up from them.
I'd like to do insight, please, and that's a 19.
Okay.
Drop zone of truth.
Yeah. All right. That's a way to do it. So you're with your insight. With your insight, you sense from Rosebud and Quince too, but you're closer to Rosebud, so you sense from her that she doesn't want to tell you because she was told not to share this information. But you have a pretty, you know this person very well, and you know of people on the island, this would be the person to cultivate this type of thing. And then with your zone of truth, I heard the question asked multiple times, so I think Quince is going to be the one to say, we weren't supposed to tell anyone, but we just needed something to do here, and he offered, and he said if we could, there's this like, there are these gems that you can dig into the underside of the island, and if we could find those for him, that would be our payment. So that's what we did.
What gems exactly?
These gems, these beautiful turquoise gems on the other underside of the island. Very rare.
And how many have you found for him so far?
Like 7.
Do I know anything about these gems?
Go ahead and roll. Yeah, roll for that. Nature.
Nature. Jeez. Okay. It's not my role.
Jesse's gonna look to everyone else and be like, y'all got this, because I think I might need to go have a word with Montre.
About to kick some ass.
Do you need
16.
any support?
Okay.
I mean, you're always welcome to ride in my back. So
right.
yes.
Latreia, you're all right here?
Of course. You see their huge thighs just bang their chest.
Okay.
Bloom just goes,
Careful.
if you guys don't mind, I think I probably have some sort of herbs floating around. And like she like opens this like pouch. Is like, I've definitely got something to help, calm down. I'm sorry, what was your name? She says to Quince, because she heard the other one, I think.
I'm Quince.
It's very nice to meet you. And she bows and goes, if you don't mind, Quince, I think I can give you something to make you feel better.
Quince considers this better.
Yeah, so your eyes look a little tired and bloodshot, and what they gave you is messing with your mind. So I could probably give you something. I'm pretty good with herbs, to make you feel a bit more clear-headed.
Quince finally sits down on the stone, and in the zone of truth, we see this like little tough guy dragon act starts to break a little bit. And he says, I'm so tired of having to always be the strong one. The bark actually made me feel like I could, fight anyone. I could just do anything. But I don't always want to feel like I'm fighting. What if I want to be a painter? What if I want to paint trees? Maybe I want to paint trees.
You could totally paint trees. And I mean, I saw you before you got to, not to draw attention to it. She's, before, and you looked pretty tough and majestic on your own. So I'm pretty sure you could do whatever you wanted to. I don't always like to be, cute, but I know what I look like.
I would like something that would make me feel better.
Okay. Do you want me to roll medicine or nature?
Roll medicine.
Okay. All right. It's 10 and a 5, 15.
Okay.
Nice.
And yeah, what are you doing to
Right.
help?
So now that I've got like a calm dragon, quote unquote, in front of me, Bloom like opens up her little pouch and like sorts through. And like if anybody could like see into it, they'll see there's a bunch of different mosses that are color coded and separated that she's like gathered, and some like herbs and some herbal blends in some little sachets that look like little tea sachets, but when you open them they're already a little bit moist into like little pastes. And so she's just like, okay, I think I have something to make counter effect it. It's not like an antidote. It won't make it go away. It'll still have to pass out of the system naturally, but it will at least counteract the feelings that it's doing and the addling. It'll make things a little bit more clear, but it won't make it go away. And she holds them out on like flat hand, like if you're feeding a horse, and is like, if you just eat this, don't worry, the sachet is biodegradable, so it's all safe to eat. You can just eat this and chew it, slowly and swallow it. You should feel better in a few minutes.
Okay. He laps it up. He first licks it a few times because he's still a cat.
Right.
And then he opens his little jaw and bites into the sachet and then just chomps it down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Avis, you got a 16 on your nature roll for those. You were asking about those gems, if you would maybe know or recognize. So something tells you this. I'm giving you a little bit of insight as well with your nature. Something tells you that this would be something very valuable to have Montre to go to these lengths to get the dragons to like bribe them into digging them up. So you feel like you're kind of narrowing it down in your head. It's probably something, some type of gem that can summon or that you can cast magic with. And actually, with your nature roll, it was a 16, but I will give you this in addition. Hearing that they came from the underside of the island, and knowing that this island has lots of different magical energies surging through it and around it, you have a feeling that it's something that's, it's hard to get to. And the dragons being able to get to it was a big boon for Montre. It was like a big get for him.
Betrayal, Bloom, would you two mind handling things here? I have a few questions that I think should be best to have answered quickly.
Of course.
Sure. I don't mind.
Yo, look.
Yes, Sloon will stay with the dragons.
So Latreia is taking a look, of course, at Storu and the others. Just how injured? Does it seem like more of just it just started, or does the dragons look quite drastically injured? Like how is everyone's health appearance at the moment?
Yeah, the two who are in the ground and who have now landed have some claw marks that they gave each other. Some of them have like ice burns on their limbs and on the sides of their bodies. Yeah, there's like some damage that's been done to these dragons by each other.
Poor babies.
We'll see if we can be able to get these wrapped up for you all. But yeah, we found a home for you if you want to go.
For the first time, Rosebud says, being in the zone of truth, says, I forgot her voice. I forgot her like rockabilly voice. I think it would be good for us to get our own place,
I understand. It is a nice place. My family lives somewhat close by in a distant area. It's great. It feels comfortable. I know you like it. There's also a dragon clan there called the Hellfang clan there. they can look out for you all and look out for each other's back.
Rosebud kind of slightly grins at this and seems to be receptive to this.
Yeah, Latrell's going to try to wrap up the badges.
Okay. Do you want to just do a heal? You said, are you doing some healing on them?
Oh, I can.
Latrell?
I'm just doing I'm just like bandaging things up. I could actually heal Sally because I don't have any magical skills just yet.
Got it. Okay. So Avis and Jesse are going to, and Elliot are going to Monterey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's actually skip ahead. I'm sorry, I need to close my window because the sun is blasting, as you can see.
No worries.
I'll be right back.
Like, that bright light just came through. I know, right? I was like, okay. Lisa had transitioned to Asimar.
I'll heal the dragons when we come back. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. Jesse can also help out with some of that too.
Okay. So we will skip over to the three of you standing at the door of Monterey's hut in the village. He's actually, let's say that he's met you back here and he's opening the door for you because he stayed at the party.
Okay.
Probably wanting to stay out of the fray of the dragons. He was like, nope, I'm good here. But you all convinced him to come back to have a private conversation, shall we say. So he opens the door to his hut, opens it, and gestures for you to walk in. And he says, so, what's this about? What's going on? Can I interest you in some things, some refreshments, some things to enjoy?
Jesse just kind of like gives him a little slap in the face. Why you been feeding the dragons that bark?
Whoa!
No, don't try to get out of it. We've been friends since we were kids. What is wrong with you?
What did they tell you?
They didn't need to tell us nothing. We could see in their eyes. We was playing fool.
What? But you think I'm the one who did it?
I'm gonna drop Zone of Truth again.
You cast it, and Monterey is so deep into trying to defend himself and lie his way through this. He just keeps talking, not realizing Zone of Truth has been cast. So he's like, I mean, of course I did it, but why would you just assume I did? I mean, it's obviously me who did it. Who else on this island would do that? I'm very unscrupulous and I don't care about people's well-beings because I want my own personal gain.
But,
And then he says,
to be completely honest,
did I just say that?
you were being very weird before. When I said hi, you just gave me a vibe. It was bad. And you usually don't do that. Usually you're pretty, nice to be around. But you're acting very suspicious.
I saw an opportunity, okay? I knew that there were these gems, that there's this mystical energy that creates them under this one part of the island, and I couldn't get to them, and the dragons were bored. So I just created something valuable for them to get me something valuable. That's it. It was just an opportunity. It was a business transaction.
You are willing to harm your family for coin.
Just trying to get off the island. I've been here my whole life. I want to do some great things like Jesse does. Jesse goes off and he has this crew of superheroes. I wouldn't do something like that. I want to get a little boat.
Get on the dang boat, you fool.
I don't have a boat. Well, but with these gems, I can maybe buy one.
Who were you selling them to exactly?
I don't have a solid
merchant vessels here.
Huh? What?
Don't recall there being a lot of merchant vessels coming to the island.
No, yeah. I was gonna ask Siva and Lomesh to take me out to Prosper someday. I haven't asked them yet. Kind of scared of Siva.
Well, I should bring her here and have her tan your hide.
No. That's not necessary.
Avis will walk over to him. As one of just his superheroes, I can tell you it's truly not a life that's worth it.
I'm not trying to.
Being with your family is far, far more important. However, if you wish to leave, you're more than welcome. And he will reach into his bag and give him 100 platinum pieces.
Whoa. Wow. You're just. Wait, you're just gonna give me this?
You want some more? I can give you more too.
I don't understand what's going on.
Let me explain. You fucked up.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I don't use language like that, but yes,
Sorry.
you did.
But we're family. So within reason, we forgive that sort of thing. As long as you try not to do it again. So, if you want to leave, you just, I don't know, have to ask for help maybe, and then we would do that.
Y'all are really kind. I did fuck up. Sorry.
It's all right.
Look, if you are serious about going on adventures and stuff, I mean, I could, we'll take you out of Presper. You can, there's a man there, Gromesh Iron Skull, kind of like a big orcish fella. I've been on his ships more than a couple of times. I mean, you can start there.
That would be nice. Thank you.
Acting like an idiot.
You gonna hit me again?
Well, I might hit you again.
Don't hit him again. I think he learned his lesson.
The stuff that we have here on the island is supposed to be for good times, not for getting our dragons all riled up.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, hey, listen, these, I heard from Avalé, or not directly from Avalé, but someone told me, Avalé said that these gems, they can do something. I haven't been able to figure it out. He actually goes into his kitchen and reaches under the counter and detaches a little satchel from the underneath that was taped up there. He opens it and he pours out these gems. They're kind of a turquoise blue, rectangular in their general shape. And he says they have some type of really strong magical energy that's just been kind of storing up under the island, and then these gems just kind of created from it. And oops, he drops one and then steps on it. It breaks, and then out from under his foot, you see a billowing smoke-like creature just appear.
Oh, no.
And I'm so evil. We're ending the session here. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Great. Fantastic.
I'm sorry.
That was so evil. She's like,
I had to do it.
I like how she prefaced that. I am so evil, but yeah, it's about to go down, and we're ending the session. So, first of all, thank you, Super Rave, of course, for the resubscription. Thank you all so much for coming by to the stream. We definitely appreciate it. Again, if you like what you see here, we like to talk about our campaign, you can definitely join our Discord. Our Discord, we'd love to talk to you about, of course, the characters, the plots, and such. We're going to go ahead and film our after show to talk about what just happened here in this session. So if you'd like to, of course, listen to our after show, you can join our Patreon where we upload all of those. And again, the funds for those go straight to the cast. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up, and we'll be back next week for our next episode. Till then, farewell for now.
Bye.
Bye. Toodles.
Yeah.
Oof.